So I just want to acknowledge that there is so much right now in the world to grieve, and the reading about Camp Mystic and the flood there and the girls' summer camp last weekend just hit me so hard. And I just want to acknowledge there's so much that everybody's navigating. And then there's this goddamn bill that passed, and then there's ice in our neighborhoods and there's just a lot. So I don't know about you all, but I just want to like say let's all, you know, allow each other to kind of talk about this stuff and really lean into the support that we can with our loved ones. And may that circle of loved ones grow to be the whole 99% is my aspiration. So yeah, just flagging the need to make space to feel all that. Turning our attention to what we're going to talk about for the next hour. So we'll do some intros. We will hear a brief overview of the Polluter Pay Climate Superfund. It's a continuing theme from Michelle. And then we're going to have one of our allies, Isabel Penman, who works with Food and Water Watch. She's going to join to talk to us about the effort that we can all be a part of in California to introduce resolutions at the city or county level, or even your workplace, maybe, in support of the Polluter Pay Climate Superfund. So we'll talk about the effort to do that, and then learn about who we can grab onto to work together towards that. And then we're gonna finish talking about 8 upcoming potlucks that you're invited to. And we're also inviting more people to host if you're able. And then we'll wrap up for before 1:30. That's the plan. So, and then just kind of naming why we're talking about all these things. So the Polluter Pay Climate Superfund, yeah, Isabel will talk about why it's important to do those local resolutions. I think I already said all these things, so I'll skip that. So Climate Health Now Action Fund's mission is to organize and activate the California health professional community, health community, to advocate for equitable systems level climate action, going upstream in our healing efforts. And we're going to take some time now to welcome each other and to just kind of ideally get everybody's voice into the room. So if you could share your name, what type of health work you do or did or will do, if you are, and we also have allies here who are not in the health community, so just share what you spend your day doing, and then where you live. So we'll go around and have time for everybody. How about if we start with, we'll go to Selena and then Yasmin next. Probably catching you both off guard. Yeah, great.
Hi there. Hi, my name is Selena. I'm in Sacramento. I'm with Sunrise Sacramento.
Yay.
And what type of health work I do? Oh, I health work? I'm not in
If you
the
do.
health industry. Okay,
Yep.
the next person.
No worries. But welcome. I so admire sun rays, and I'm really glad you're here. So thanks for joining. Yeah. How about Francis? Do you want to share? Oh, sorry, Yasmin, you're
Oh,
ready. Yeah.
it's okay. My name is Yasmin. I am a fourth year med student right now. I currently live in Loma Linda, California. That's where I'm in med school right now. Yeah.
Great. Glad you're here. Yay. That's one of the blue zones of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, we're proud of it.
Good. It's good for your health. Glad you're here. And then how about Francis?
Oh, hi there. My name's Frances Lee. I'm living in Moore Park, which is in the Southern California area, Ventura County. And I think I had the pleasure of meeting some people from your Climate Health Now group in Sacramento, and I was very impressed with you. I belong to this organization that's called Ventura County Climate Alliance, which is a whole group of people in this area. And we're just trying to put polluters pay as our main thing. And we want to just see what you're doing and, want to support you.
You know Margaret Coastler by chance?
Margaret.
Coaster?
Oh, yes. In Ventura.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. She's I'm also part of Citizens Climate Lobby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's her. She's
great
in our group. Yeah.
We have a Ventura a little network growing, which is good.
Oh, yes.
Good. And then we'll go to Lou next.
Ooh, thank you. So I'm a retired special ed teacher. I kind of wrote some notes down here. I'm with East Bay Clean Air Coalition. I'm not a health professional in that sense, but we work on air quality in Contra Costa County. And then 350 Contra Costa Action, same thing. We work with legislation and environmental. And then I'm with Veterans for Peace also, and we're anti-militarism. And for what it's worth, we have a ship called, and I'll put it in the chat. It's called the Golden Rule. I'll put a press release. It's going to be in the Bay Area in August, and we're going to try to. It's going to promote peace and anti-nuclear stuff. And then kind of exciting is yesterday we met with Senator Tim Grayson, and we actually spoke to the AB 1243. He wasn't very positive with it, but we're going to try to keep getting back to him and try to really encourage him to vote for that.
Cool. Good to meet you. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And then let's go to maybe Cindy and then Lauren next.
Hi there. I'm Cindy Hawk in Irvine, California, a family doctor, now retired and involved in climate health now and many other volunteer activities.
Yay, glad you're here. And then who was I gonna go to next? Do you all remember?
I think you had said me.
Lauren. Thank you.
My name is Lauren. I'm calling in from Santa Barbara. I'm with the Santa Barbara Polluters Pay Coalition, where we're building local support for the Climate Superfund. So excited to be here with you all.
Awesome. Welcome. And then Gary's back from the fjords. You want to say hi?
Yeah, Gary Stewart. I'm in internal medicine. Worked with CCL for some years, then with CHN for a little bit. A variety of things. I write a newsletter and just kind of deal with some current events. Did some fun stuff with Cindy. Hope to do more of that.
Cool. Glad you're back. And then let's go to Michelle and then Amy.
Hello, I'm Michelle Fontana. I'm a registered nurse and I live in Berkeley as of this week. But I just moved from Oakland, so it wasn't that far.
Congrats. Great. And then Amy.
Hi. I'm in Santa Monica. I am I'm partnering with Climate Action Santa Monica, an organization I work with, to get a resolution in support.
That's great.
And I'm just sort of here to jumpstart that.
Yeah. Are you going to the potluck in Santa Monica on Sunday? Yeah, we'll share about it, but just to plant that seed.
Yes. So I'm not really a health. I mean, like my husband's a doctor and stuff, but and I do mental health related stuff, but not like as a profession.
Yeah.
I'm tied in with like the community around internal family systems practice.
I think that would qualify, and we'll talk more about it, but I just want to flag that because it'll be a gathering of really cool, like-minded people. You can meet Amanda, who I introduced you to by email. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll come then. Yeah, I hope I have the information.
Okay, we'll share it. It's a big part of the focus.
Great.
Yeah. And then let's go to Howard and then Bill.
Yes, I'm Howard Humler, retired internist. I'm a member of PSNAP, which is Physicians and Scientists Network, assessing plastics in health. And I'm a member of Climate Health Now.
And where do you live again, Howard?
Sacramento.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Good, and we'll go nearby to Bill.
Yeah, Bill Pevick, retired vascular surgeon from UC Davis in Sacramento. And I, in my retirement, working a lot on healthcare, environmental sustainability, and other environmental projects through various organizations.
Yay. Great. And then we'll go to Siddharth, and then maybe to whoever it says Samsung SM something. We'll go to you next. But Siddharth, if you want to say hi.
Hi, my name is Sid. I am a member of Sunrise, Orange County, and Long Beach, so like both. And we're trying to make sure that we're active on the front to push make polluters pay bill through the state legislature in California.
Cool. So am I right, Cindy and Sid and Gary, you're pretty close by, right? Allies? Yes.
Yeah,
Woo.
Orange
Good.
County.
Good. And then the person, it says Samsung SM931U. If you can say hi, we'd love to have you bring your voice in. And if not, maybe Andre, if you want to say hi.
Hi, Ashley and everybody. I'm Andre Daniels, and I'm a retired internist epidemiologist, and happy to be involved in any of the issues that this group will raise.
Great. And you're in Santa Monica?
I'm in Westlake Village in Los Angeles County.
Okay, cool.
It's near Thousand Oaks.
Got it.
101.
Okay. And then Whitney.
Hey everyone, great to be here with you. I'm Whitney Via Greswold. I've worked at a federally qualified health center, currently work at Climate Health Now. Awesome, yay, it's been great. And I live in Pinole, California.
So did anybody not get to say hello who wants to? Oh, sorry, Hannah, thank you.
No worries. I'm Hannah Fuller. I live in Alamo in East Bay, and I work in Walnut Creek. I'm a psychiatrist, and I'm very happy to see Frances. I met her in the climate lobby there in Sacramento. So welcome everyone, but also Frances because I met her.
Good. That's great. Awesome. So anybody else? Okay. So yeah, just to name it again, because I don't know everybody yet. So my name's Ashley McClure. I'm an internal medicine doctor also, and I am doing all climate work because of my two beautiful daughters and all children. I have a thing for kids. And I co-founded Climate Health Now with Amanda Milstein, and I'm now the executive director, which is a funny thing when there's only two of us part-time, with Whitney. So, and I live in Berkeley, and I'm really glad you all are here. So we will, and then Isabel, do you want to introduce yourself now, Isabel?
Yeah, thanks everyone for having me. My name's Isabel. She, they pronouns, and I'm the Northern California organizer at Food and Water Watch. We're an environmental nonprofit, and one of our priority campaigns right now is supporting the Climate Superfund. So excited to be here today.
Yeah, and Isabel will get to share a lot. So, all righty. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to I think a lot of people know about it, but not everybody. So just to give us an overview of the Polluter Pay Climate Superfund.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Yes, I will try to keep it brief, assuming most of you know something about this bill. But first thing about this bill, it's not dead, despite what you heard. It got stalled out in the judiciary committees in both the Senate and Assembly, but has converted to a 2-year bill. So we just have more time to organize and get this passed. So let's talk a little bit more about it. It is a revenue generator that is going to make fossil fuel polluters pay and not taxpayers for all of the economic and environmental damages that they have knowingly caused for years. So these damages, we've all seen it firsthand. We feel it in our, skyrocketing insurance rates. Everything just out of whack, and the people to blame are the fossil fuel companies, and they have the money. They're making the profits while they're making everyone else pay the costs. So that's what this bill aims to address. It will require the state to carry out a study that will quantify the costs of climate damages in California and establish a fund into which those largest fossil fuel polluters will pay their fair share of those costs. kind of more specifically the nuts and bolts. The California EPA will be directed to identify the responsible parties, to assess an initial fee to fund the cost of the study. They will determine climate impacts, and this is based on the companies that have ties to California, and it's based on damages in California. And they are using attribution science to kind of quantify those costs based on pollution that happened from 1990 to 2024 and quantifying costs that will continue to happen until 2045. So they're assessing who are the responsible parties, assessing their proportionate share, and then that all of that money, billions of dollars that our state desperately needs, will get put into a fund. And even more importantly, 40% of that fund will go directly to frontline disadvantaged communities who are suffering the most. So this is a very well thought out, common sense bill that we really want and need in our state. So I think this fact is pretty staggering. Every dollar invested in climate resilience saves $13 in economic savings related to cleanup costs and damage costs. So this is a very smart investment. And if you go to the next slide, it's sort of intended to be spread across 5 domains. So it's going to help respond to climate catastrophes. It will help to build climate resilient neighborhoods, sustainable infrastructure, regenerative agriculture. It's going to encourage green workforce development, support workers suffering from climate related health harms, and kind of just bring in this thriving, fair transition away from fossil fuels. We know what we need to do. We have the technology. This gives us the money to make those things happen. It kind of breaks this psychotic system where we all are seeing the future just spiraling out of control and nobody's doing anything. This is the mechanism that we could really make a big splash in California. Vermont and New York have already done this. But yeah, it would be a very big deal. And there's billions of dollars on the line for our state. So very excited about this.
Thank you, Michelle. And yeah, this is our visualization of the qualifying expenditures. So the Cal EPA would spend the money through these categories, and we're going to talk more about them. And this is the theme of the potlucks, is trying to imagine, like, what could these really mean for our communities, and how could these invest and protect our communities? So we're trying to really get to the what we have to benefit side of the conversation through this visualization and the potlucks. So thank you, Michelle. We have a little time for questions or clarifications or anything.
Were those categories, are those in the bill or?
Yeah, they are
spelled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because where does like transitioning away from fossil fuels, which one of those categories is that?
My sense, and everybody please chime in, is the energy efficiency and resiliency.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And it's kind of it's interesting, right? I think the reason we want to like foster more of this conversation is because we talk a lot about climate solutions and climate mitigation and resilience, but this is sort of the nitty gritty and more granular layers of that. So part of the potlucks that we'll talk about are learning more together about, like, what does this actually mean when you put the funding to the climate transition medal, like what are the steps of that? And that's what are in these. And we can go a little bit more into what's included in each one, but starting with just the high level. And then I see Howard said, are the closing of refineries part of the backlash to these efforts? Great question. I think, I mean, I would say, and I'm curious if others want to contribute, the closing of the refineries, I think the oil lobby, Western States Petroleum Association, is saying that it's related, but it's actually not related. So it's part of the bigger energy conversation, and I think there's a lot of fear mongering related to it, but they're not directly related at all. Would anybody else add to that?
I think that's part of the kind of disinformation, is trying to scare consumers that you're going to close refineries, you're going to lose jobs, your gas is going to be more expensive. But we've had talks with economists who say not so. That is not so. They're not going to be able to pass these costs on at the gas pump. This is going to create jobs. It is not going to cost jobs, and it is going to really help ameliorate our budget crisis and help with the kind of insurance affordability, all of that. So this is a huge economic win. Right now, all Californians are paying the costs, and this bill says stop paying the costs. Fossil fuel will pay the costs, and they're desperately smoke and mirrors trying to kick everyone out. So
yeah, and Francis, to your point, the home structure hardening is called out explicitly in the first category. So, and actually, yeah, I think we'll get to it later. But so maybe we'll move on for now, unless there's any other burning questions. And okay, so that's how it feels all day, and this is how we feel together. Thank God you're here. So again, I'm really excited to invite Isabel to share and teach us, who I've gotten to meet through working in the Polluter Pay Climate Superfund. And we've gotten to connect around, kind of bringing together a group to have a potluck focused on this in Fremont, in South Alameda County. So yeah, we're glad you're here and glad for Food and Water Watch's work, and we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. One of the key ways that Food and Water Watch is working with other organizations across the state to support this bill is by supporting local efforts to pass city and county resolutions in support of the Climate Superfund bill. And as Michelle stated, the bill authors a couple of weeks ago were not able to persuade enough legislators in two key committees to vote to advance the bill this year. So they've decided to postpone the vote until January of next year, which really just allows us more time to build that local momentum and pressure on our key targets in those communities. And as you all can imagine, the fossil fuel industry has really unfortunately flooded the legislature with misleading ads and lobbyists. And so it's kind of our job to counteract big oil's misinformation and showing our legislators overwhelming demonstrations of support for the bill in their districts to win their votes and move the bill forward. And again, one way we can do that is through passing local resolutions in the city and county in support of the bill. And that basically creates political cover for them so that they feel comfortable voting yes, because they know they have the backing of their constituents, and really just intensifies pressure on them to do the right thing. It also continues to build the momentum for the campaign throughout the summer and fall, and just keep bringing more and more people into our campaign so that when it comes time for them to revisit the bill and vote in January, we know we have their votes. So now is the time to really go full force with trying to do local outreach and passing resolutions. And obviously, cities, counties, school districts are the ones facing the most pressure from climate-related costs and infrastructure challenges, and the budget challenges for facing those problems on their own. And so Superfund legislation essentially is for municipal resilience and supporting those local budgets to deal with this crisis. So far, San Francisco County, LA, Berkeley, Albany, city councils have all passed resolutions, and San Diego just passed theirs, I think, this week or late last week. And so the goal of passing resolutions is, again, intensify pressure on legislators to support the bill, create a media moment focused on the bill, and continue to get media coverage for our work and our campaign, engage more people in our Make Polluters Pay campaign, especially at the local level, and just really continue to grow and build large momentum and support behind the bill between now and the votes in January. Next slide, please. So how do we do that? Where do we start? I think the best place to start is just to check and see if your local electeds have already signed on in support. You can do that by checking the link that I just posted in the chat. If you scroll down, you can type in your city or county and see if any local elected officials have signed on in support. If not, great. Now it's time to do individual outreach to either your city council members or potentially your county, and urge them to sign on to this individual local elected support letter. Um, Once you have a majority on the city council signed on individually in support of the Climate Superfund, that's when you can start thinking about a local resolution. Or if you have connections to your city council and you really know that there's someone who is an environmental champion, who'd be really interested in introducing a resolution, then reaching out to them, getting them to sign on to the individual sign-on letter, and bringing up the idea of a resolution so that they can help be the champion. And basically, the champion is just the member on the city council that introduces the resolution, and agendizes it. So puts it on the agenda for a city council vote.
Isabel, can we stop for a second?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever been part of a city council resolution being introduced? So this is brand new for everybody? Amazing. Cool, cool. Okay, I just wanted to kind of get a sense because if there was, yeah, Yasmin, were you gonna say something? No, okay, okay. Okay, just checking. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really exciting thing to do, and it sounds scarier than it is. It's really easy to just send an email to your city council members, and give them a call and try to set up a meeting if they'd like to talk more about what this looks like. But we have templates, and I'll share all the resources in a moment. But basically, you're going to share the resolution template with them once you identify someone who is interested in introducing the resolution. Before that vote happens, you want to make sure that you have the votes you need, which is going to be a majority to pass that resolution. And you can work with the champion to just set up meetings with the rest of the city council and make sure you have their support. And then once that resolution gets on a city council meeting to have a vote, and you have a date for that, you're gonna want to organize people to turn out and make some signs and maybe even alert the local press, because we're all doing this so that we can capture this media moment as well and make sure that folks know that these resolutions are being passed. Any questions about the process for introducing local resolutions?
Does this sound like something anybody's interested in doing?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to try. First
Cool.
time I've ever done it. I mean, I had to sit down for about 45 minutes once with one of our newer city council members about a year ago. So I have at least some rapport with him. I've had minimal contact that would be useful for this with other city council members, but I know people who have, and I know some like-minded folks who might want to participate as well. So
Awesome.
it's potentially doable. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. This is a real good time to lean local, right? I mean, because of how bad things are way up high, our like people in our neighborhood, this is within reach. So I think I saw Cindy, Whitney, and then Lou.
So my question is, because this is a statewide resolution, what difference does it make? I just want to be really clear. What difference does it make if we pass a resolution at the city level? It's just signaling support to the governor or our assembly members, or can you say
Yeah.
more about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's signaling support to the assembly and senators in that district. And so, because right now they're not feeling the pressure to vote yes on this bill. They don't feel like they have the local support, but passing resolutions and having the city councils and board of supervisors and local school boards all passing resolutions in support really allows them to be like, hey, look at my constituents. They all really want this bill. They really need it. I I'm sorry I have to vote for this. So that's what I kind of meant when I was talking about providing political cover for them. And in New York and Vermont, getting local electeds involved in the campaign and getting them to like Sacramento and speaking about the bill really made a big difference in the success and passing their versions of the bill.
Yeah, great question. Was that enough, Cindy? Yeah, yeah. Let's go to Whitney and then Lou.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for all the information, Isabel. I just had kind of a specific question. I live, as I mentioned, in Pinole, and I see that one of our council members has signed the letter, um, the California Climate Superfund letter. So there's, some level of support, but then the city hasn't passed a resolution itself. So I'm wondering, how do I kind of translate that support from that one person to next steps? That would look like just like reaching out to them and kind of assessing where they're at and, um, showcasing like my support.
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would do is reach out to them, see what their assessment is of the other city council members, and also just reach out to the rest of the city council. You might not hear back. You might get some more sign-ons, and this really is a case-by-case basis. Some folks live in more conservative areas, and you're just not going to be able to pass a resolution there. So you kind of have to see. But getting even just more individuals signed on is a huge difference. And this is also like a great opportunity to make it group work. So some folks mentioned in the chat that maybe they don't have relationships to other city council members, but they know who might. And so getting more folks involved to do some more and more outreach just kind of makes it easier for or more likely for them to sign on and support. So I would definitely start by just reaching out and maybe setting up a call with the one who signed on or hearing from them on what their assessment is of the other folks.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think the beauty of this coalition is that it's huge. And, just noticing like Lauren said in Santa Barbara, there's already a group working together. And Selena said that in Sacramento, there's already a group working together. So I think that's really the many hands make the work lighter. That it's not just CHN, it's like this huge group that really cares. So that is the goal of this conversation, and to just find people everywhere. So. Let's go to Lou next.
Yeah, sincerely, thank you for the template, and I opened up the thing and I see 95 signatories, 24 counties. By any chance, has any city actually passed a resolution, or are we still shooting for that?
Yeah,
They
there's
have. Yeah.
Sorry, do you want to take that, Ashley?
No, please, you.
Yeah, we've had a couple so far. I don't have the link pulled up, but there's a tab that um shows which cities have, but LA, San Francisco Board of Supervisors, Alameda, San Diego just passed one. Yeah, thank you, Whitney, for putting in the chat. There's a list on the
Well,
website.
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Exactly.
This is Andre. I have a question related to the passing of these resolutions or getting it accepted. Have any of these primarily been altered by CHN positioning this particular resolution to the council and taking it up, or has CHN worked with a coalition of other groups? I did hear something about school boards, and so if I want to approach our local council, how representative should I be of the different organizations in this area?
Yeah, CHN has not been the primary. Thank you. Thank goodness for coalition. So we've been involved, like we were part of the Berkeley one. We had like a little gathering beforehand, and there's like Wendy, who's not here right now. One of our team leads is working on the Alameda County Board of Supervisor team, who's trying to work for one. So this is all about coalition membership, but we would be happy to have a CHN member, stake the ground for a new place. And that's what we're really ready to support. And then let's see, I saw Hannah's hand, and then we'll go to Francis.
I have just about, I live in, for example, Alamo, which is an unincorporated, community or whatever you call it. So in those kind of situations, how do you, recommend that to go about for the unincorporated communities?
That is a great question that I do not have the answer to. Does anyone else on the call have ideas?
My first thought is just to think towards the county level, but I don't really know.
I was thinking too, yeah.
The county supervisor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I think Lisa and I were talking about it that maybe we'll try to reach out to the county supervisor. She seemed maybe she might be open. And so thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Francis?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate all the information as well. And I just wanted to say to the iPhone 3, I can't remember your name again. I'm just
That's Luke. Or sorry, that's Andre.
Andre.
Yeah.
Okay, Andre. I'm from that area that you're in, the Westlake area.
Okay.
And I know that some people that I'm associated with have actually gone to the city council member, Bob Engler, and they're trying to pass a resolution. And he is trying to do everything he can to, set things up, talk with other, see what kind of support, what he can do. So that's kind of already in the works, but it'd be great if you wanted to join them. They're CCL people as well as CFROG and our Ventura County Climate Alliance.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. I'd like to
I'd
be
like
in
to
touch
get
with
your
you.
information. Yeah, if we could.
If you that sounds great. Maybe if you each want to put your email in the chat to connect each other. And the whole goal of this is to connect each other. So we will help afterwards. But I love your thinking. Okay, so let's move forward on this one. Great. So maybe Isabel, in like 4-ish minutes, do you think we could wrap up?
Yeah, I just wanted to share we have a bunch of materials to help with all of this, so you're not on your own, and I'll share them in the chat. But we have a bunch of fact sheets that are very helpful when you're reaching out to a local elected, explaining why it's important to pass a Superfund that you can include. We have talking points that you can draw on when you're writing an email to your local elected. And then at the very bottom, there's a resolution guide that has the template language and some email template to a prospective champion, and even a template for trying to get local orgs signed on and support as well. So a lot of resources. You don't have to, write from scratch, but I will say it's really, I think, impactful when you write from personal experience or why this money would really impact your communities, and adding in that personal story when you do outreach. And then lastly, I just wanted to share some of the successful local resolutions that have passed.
Oh, is that the next one?
Yes, please.
Yay!
Woohoo! So this one is San Diego. They just did it, July 15th. So that was this week. It was led by a bunch of youth, and it was a really exciting moment for them. And then I also wanted to share the Los Angeles one on the next slide.
This one.
Yep. That had passed a couple weeks ago, I think. Hard one. They're working on the county now. And as you can see, it's a really great opportunity to get, media coverage, to get youth involved, get as many different groups involved in your communities for these. And it's a really exciting time. So I think that's everything I had to share.
Yay. Oh, in this list.
Oh yeah. And that's just the website where you can search up if your local electeds have already signed on.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you so much, Isabel. We're really, really grateful for your, advice and mentorship. And this has been awesome. We have time for a couple of questions if there's any for Isabel.
I have one.
Yeah.
Isabel, do the templates or the other type of working information you have on your website about this, does that include a way of estimating how much actual money would come to any given community? Like if I'm going to pitch this to a city council member, if I can say, well, we can expect $500,000 or whatever it is, that would be useful. Is there a way of doing that?
Yeah, so that's really tricky because it's going to be first the funds have to go to the California EPA and they have to talk a bit more about where the money can go to, and then it has to be divvied up by the legislature. And so that process kind of has to happen. But Ashley has worked on creating some kind of numbers so that there are an idea. Ashley, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so real thought experiment here, but the thought experiment is that so the best estimates are that the Superfund would generate over $150 billion over 20 years. So there's something like 52 counties in California. So if the California EPA were to distribute it equally among those 52 counties, it's something like $153 million per county for 20 years. So, that just, I think it's imperfect and it's not based in the legislation, but just for the thought experiment, I think to your point, Gary, that's such the thing that would be helpful is to make it as locally applicable as possible. So that's kind of the closest that I came up with imperfectly to just kind of get people's wheels turning of like what this could mean for our local counties. And importantly, 40% of the funds are earmarked for, under-resourced, historically polluted neighborhoods. And so that will affect the calculation, but roughly 100 million plus per county if it were by county. And maybe that kind of can serve the purpose. Yeah. 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 Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is great. And I'm really glad, Isabel, to be working in orbit with you and Coalition and everybody. So now's the question.
Can I have
Oh, yeah, please, Hannah.
I wanted to ask Isabel, because I know Isabel, you are doing our area as well. So, for example, Walnut Creek City Council, they did not have a resolution per se on their agenda, but the people, showed up in an organized manner in their in their council meeting, and they presented the case for the polluters pay Superfund bill in the public comment section. So that's also, in your opinion, a way, right? That even if it's not on the agenda or they were not able to get it on that, kind of showing support and presenting and kind of forcing them to consider it, sort of thing. Not forcing, but like in a polite way, suggesting or
telling.
Yeah, no, exactly. So in Walnut Creek, they had a majority support on the city council, but the mayor didn't want to agendize it, and so they organized to go to the next city council meeting. They brought a bunch of people, and they talked about it. And so that's a great example of how to mobilize and build the pressure if you don't get what you want the first time you ask.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that sounds like something to join into. Oh wait, sorry. So does anybody want to give this a go and try this new thing out for working together locally? I will take notes if anybody wants to raise their hand. We will hastily follow up with
I'll
you.
try it. I think we'll try it.
Great. Who else? I'm seeing Hannah,
Yeah,
I'm seeing Michelle, Francis,
we are.
Lou.
Yep.
Yes. Woohoo. Okay, great, Francis, Lou. Okay, we're coming your way with a toolkit and
Right.
coalition members, which is great. Yasmin, let me know if this seems like something you want to do. 'Cause I don't think
And the Food and Water Watch website is where all the templates are.
Yeah, we'll also share it out. Yeah, it might be
Okay.
there too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on a website, but we'll make sure we get that info to you.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. I don't have to search it.
Yeah, we'll bring it to you.
Receive it.
Yes. So, in the spirit of local and community and neighbors, CHN is working on a potluck campaign. Have you ever heard of such a crazy idea? So what we're trying to do is bring people together, our own members, our members' neighbors, our members' families, people together who care about clean energy and solving what we can of the climate crisis, and working together to protect what we love. So we're working on having fun together, like actual fun, and building relationships and learning together about the Superfund too. I think maybe it was Francis's question of like, where does home hardening work or fit? So we want to come together to kind of understand more what this mega bill could mean for our cities, our counties, our schools. Like where does an EV buses fit into this? And it does. So that's the other part. And then the third part is to brainstorm and discuss like what matters the most to us and what are you most excited about? So in the spirit of those three purposes, we're working on supporting our members and our allies in coming together for potlucks. And that same visualization we have as part of a host toolkit for hosting potlucks to have a meal together and to talk about the Superfund. And we have a host toolkit that has a guided discussion kind of outline for how to foster a discussion about the Superfund and the different areas and what they actually mean with your friends and neighbors. So I did a beta test of this in Berkeley a couple weeks ago now, and Michelle and Lisa and Hina came, and we had a lot of fun together. It was really great, and we really want to like foster that among more of our members and our neighbors and allies. So there's an invitation coming, and the invitation is for you to maybe have one of these in your backyard or your favorite local park. Or, I mean, Yasmin, like maybe it could replace Grand Rounds or something. But the idea is just to get people together, talking and having a time to build relationships and to talk about what this could mean. So if somebody were to say, all right, I will try this out. I'll host a potluck, in Loma Linda. Is it Loma Linda's the town? Anyway, if you name where you want to have it, and when, then Whitney and I will offer all the support, like logistically. So if somebody decides they want to do it, we will invite who we know, CHN members and people in the coalition. We will set up an event link that will handily have the address and put it on people's calendars and send them reminders and send them a spreadsheet where people can sign up to bring delicious food and take roles, so that we can kind of distribute the work of it. And then we'll share the discussion guide that kind of helps to, have the discussion be as meaningful as possible, and so that we can kind of get at the ideas that we're hoping to. So that's what's involved in the host toolkit. And we already have 8 of these potlucks scheduled. So I was mentioning earlier, there's one in Santa Monica on Sunday afternoon, and I'm so excited that Cindy's going to be there, and it sounds like maybe Andre and Francis maybe could go. Amanda de Almeida is lovely. She just finished family medicine residency, and she's hosting that one. So that'll be really cool. And hopefully, Amy, you could go too. And then on Sunday here in Berkeley, we're having another one. And this one is going to be cool because it's in partnership with Indivisible East Bay and CHN. So we're gathering again. There's one in Sacramento. This is in partnership with Third Act, and you can tell because it's Monday from 10:30 to 1. So if you're free, there's going to be a cool gathering. And then Fremont, which Isabel and I have been working together on August 3rd, and you can see. So these are going to be great gatherings, and our hope is to have at least a couple more. So if this sounds like something that you could enjoy and want to help us build more of, so that we can meet our neighbors who also care, so that we can work together to talk to our council members, so that we can, make change locally and build the grassroots. That would be amazing. We would love to hear it. Does it sound like something that anybody wants to consider doing?
How many people on average have attended the existing potlucks per occasion?
Yeah, so the one in Berkeley last month, there were like 20. I'll show you. See that picture? That was pretty much everybody. There was like 23 or so of us, roughly. And the goal is really like, 5 to 10 or, just any number really, because building, you have relationship with two other people locally who you can kind of care about the same things with. You can do so much with just a couple allies. So, and then I think the one in Santa Monica on Sunday has 19 or 20 people registered ish. So yeah, Francis?
Sorry. Yeah, well, actually, we're thinking about one in Ventura County.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's with the Sea Frog people.
Yeah.
Brooke Ballister. I don't know if you know her name.
I've heard her name for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll try to work on one, and maybe Andre can join us.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Don't want to leave anybody else out if they want to join in.
Exactly. We don't want to leave anybody out. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. So, yep, if you actually, yeah, Whitney, if you wouldn't mind putting this in the chat. So if you're interested, even if you're like, I will show up, but I'm not going to plan it, that's okay too. We'll connect you once, if somebody does step up who wants to host. And all levels of participation are welcome. So we would love to hear that. Thank you for putting that in. And there's my sweet husband, very supportive husband. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. Any questions about the potlucks before we move on? Okay. So two final things to mention. For anybody who could use some continuing health education credits like CME or continuing nursing education, or there's this new one that I just learned about, IPCE. Do you remember, Whitney, what that stands for? Interprofessional Continuing Education, I think. So it's for all like mid-levels, PAs, like all different levels of health education credits. We can offer those for this training that we're putting together in partnership with Stanford Medicine and People Power Health, which is Peja Stojacic, who's one of my mentors, who works at Cambridge Health Alliance with like Marshall Gans and great people, awesome people. And what we're doing is a 6-session training between mid-September to mid-November, and it's all virtual. And we'll have just 6 sessions that are by Zoom, like lunchtime on Wednesdays, and then there'll be kind of in between homework. And the goal is to have health people learn how to tell their own story of why we care about climate change as a very like our own call to get involved, and then tell a story of how we as the health healing community have made change and can make change, and then really compellingly tell a story of now, which is inviting more people to join us. So this is, the fancy name is public narrative, it's strategic storytelling, it's like how you might feel when you hear Barack Obama or MLK speak versus like James Hansen, bless his heart, talking about megatons of carbon. It's how to speak to people's heart so that they're like, I trust that person, I'll join them. What do I need to do? And we want to really learn how to be inspirational speakers as a leadership practice. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And I really hope you'll consider joining. We have a special deal for CHN members. It's usually $1,000, but for CHN members, we can offer $500 for the rest of the month, and anybody can easily become a CHN member. So we really want people just to learn these skills, and we don't want to go into debt to paying Stanford for the accreditation fees. So if you can do it, that'd be great. Or if you can share it with anybody you think would be interested, that would be fantastic. And then Whitney, I can't see the chat, so if you could drop the link, that would be really great. Any questions about that? Cool. Okay, and then the very last thing, oh gosh. So I learned about this on Monday that the Bureau of Land Management, because of the regime on high right now, they're doing an evaluation of the environmental impact of leasing our public land in California for private oil and gas extraction, new wells. This is being looked at from Alameda County to the Central Valley, like Kern, the whole state. So obviously a terrible idea. And for today, if everybody right now could sign this petition opposing this insane idea in the chat, that would be really great. It takes like 27 seconds. And if you're like, oh my God, I am ready to throw down for that, then you could join me and Michelle and Hina and Wendy on Wednesday, because we have our meeting from 5 to 6, and we're gonna submit like articles about the health harms of oil and gas, and submit more. We're gonna figure out how to get involved in this and submit more comments on Wednesday night. So if you want to join us to do that, we would love it. And that is the action part of your meeting today. So I think that's it. Any questions or anything? Okay, that was a lot, but we've got a little space and time, so I'm really grateful for everybody joining. And yeah, let's all do a little bit and make some progress together. And a big huge thank you to Isabel. So grateful that you could join and teach us about this new tool, that we haven't really used together before. So we're grateful for that. Yeah. Hopefully some of you can join some upcoming potlucks, and if there's not one in your area, let us know. Okay. Have a great weekend.
Hey,
Bye.
thanks, Wendy.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.